Ride through the city like Brennan Schaub. I'm on a mission to get it all. Ride through the city like Brennan Schaub. If you ain't thick, please don't get involved.
And now, Brandon Thick Boy Schaub.
We live. What up, fam? It is Friday, July 17th, 11:03. We are 3 minutes late. God, geez. What's going on, fam? Happy Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. Nice little Friday for your boy. Nice little Friday. I'll do this. Favorite part of my week. Chatting to you guys in the super chat here. It's my favorite thing to do. So here, and then I'll head over. My boy Nick Sick is in town with Strickland. I forget who else. I'm going to go meet them for lunch after this. See what's popping with those wild boys. And then Tiger has football practice. And then my pops is in town. Flew in from Denver, so I'll see my dad later tonight. He'll come to Tiger's football practice. We're just in helmets right now, so, you know, it's helmets. But it's all good, man. What is going on with the chat? A lot of stuff going on in the Real Housewives of the UFC. You got OKC, UFC Cock happening this Saturday. And then you also got RAF with Colby Covington, Armin. Nice little weekend for everybody. Nice little weekend. Let's get to the chat before it starts racking up and then your boy's behind. How's everybody doing? Drew, what up? Captain, what up? King Quincy, what up? That fool Chris, what it do? Rafi, who y'all got tomorrow? Usman or Dricus? Chin, put a poll up. Usman or Dricus? I got Dricus. If you listen to yesterday's Big Brown Breakdown, I broke it down. Cody, 3 minutes late. We need better out of you. Facts. Facts. I was here, but, you know, I hear you. I hear you. Marshall says, yo, Jan Blachowicz has a new opponent. Oh, really? Gemma Girl, 15.9 million views for UFC 329. And that's just in the United States on Paramount. So those are big boy numbers. I never thought it would beat the White House just because the White House reached a different level of casuals. And you have the mainstream news covering it. You had all the antics. So it'd be tough to compete even though it's a Conor card. But those are tasty numbers. That fool Chris says, I just paid another $4.99 to be here. Didn't make a dent. Look at the money and said, nobody knows who you are. Tom Cat, Sugar Sean O'Malley's teammate Tommy Guns fights this weekend. Has a legit challenge in front of him. Yep, fighting a boy from the B team. That's a great fight to kick the card off. Eduardo says, suffering from the Canadian wildfires. Yeesh. Why do we think Kamaru didn't get a shot against Islam? Manager got in the way, money. I just think UFC went a different direction. ZTO coaching says McGregor just said it has to be Holloway. Yeesh. He says that. We'll see if the UFC's down by that. Mike Street, crushed by the Tim Kennedy news. You're a good friend, though. You're talking about what Callum was talking about on Firing the Kid and going on Tim Kennedy's show. Yeah, I hear you, brother. It's a tough one. Drew says, any update on Roundtree? Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. Marshall says Kamaru and DDP made weight. I see that. AJ Thompson, what up, Schaub? Into cologne at all? Yeah, I like myself a little cologne. Dylan D, member, what up, man? The Shea Show, over, under on Usman fighting 3 more times before the retiring. I'll go with under. Clam Cocktail, what up, guys? Does Usman retire after a loss? No, probably one more. Oh, man, Born Again says, getting married tomorrow. Any advice? Have fun. Remember, it's not about you, it's about her, especially weddings. BB Greg says, I got Usman this weekend. Sorry. Don't be sorry, man. It'd be awesome if he wins. It's a fork in the road for both of them, right? It's like career defining as far as their future goes in the UFC. So you never want to see anyone's dreams get crushed. And if Usman does win, you got the Strickland rematch there, right? Strickland beat him, or he beat Strickland at 170. So it'd be fun. Devin 33, have you done any training or walk-ins in Vegas while in camp or traveling? What gyms, if you remember? I did Extreme Couture's. I was part of Vitor Belfort's camp. That's about it out there. Mikey Mukai, can you even fit an S2000? Only one way to find out. Brickhouse, if Justin defends the belt, does he have to give up the 250 belt? No. Nope. Sure doesn't. That one's special. He gets to keep that one. Cody, are you ever going to go on vacation again in Montana? I would like to. It's with kiddo sports, man. Vacations are very tough. Like I go to LA next week. I'm there. I got to work Thursday, Friday. I have the late afternoon and nights off, and then we leave Saturday. So that's my vacation this year. The only reason I'm leaving anything is because I get to work out there, and the kids get to see their friends. Crow, Israel Elliott making his debut too. He's a beast, super beast. Ryan Hubbs, is DDP the sloppiest technique champ? He's the most awkward. ZTO coaching, where can I buy? I don't have a nicotine product, brother. I use Black Buffalo. And I use some there's some with nootropics and stuff like that, or caffeine, but for nicotine, it's Black Buffalo. Thomas, what up, man? Black Ross, I'm rooting for Usman, but I wouldn't bet on him. Agree. Shay Show, which UFC fighter has the best shoe game? Best shoe game? Cleo Roundtree owned his own shoe business. He made me a dope pair of Dunks. I still have them. They're all red. Say Thick Boy on them. Marshall says, hey, Brandon, do you remember Callan's carrot hot tub story? No, I don't. Philip says, I know you talked about it a while ago, but why does Tom Aspinall get the disrespect? He basically mauled everyone except Gon, who poked him in the freaking eye. I'll be very surprised if Tom doesn't run. I think it's a frustration. Then Dana White going bad on him didn't help. So it's the perfect storm. Black Ross is Usman moving up to 105 permanently. I would assume so. Unless he just gets absolutely overmatched this one, but I would assume so. Chris Lamb, what's your take on Bryce Mitchell versus Mikey Musumeci and BJJ? It's fun. They're trying to take a page out of the RAF, and try to get traction over there because it's getting zero. But Bryce is going to have a tough night in the office. Tyson says, what'd you think about the ESPYs and Justin not getting Fighter of the Year? To give it to Terrence Crawford, what he did to Canelo, how can you be mad at that? White Craig says, I guess I missed it, but why did Holland versus Smith get canceled? Brian says, I sometimes wonder if Conor beat Khabib in the post-fight interview, just the stuff that would have came out in my man's mouth. Yeah, it'd be fun. Patrick says, how did you get Joanna to agree to a small wedding? Most girls want something big. Yeah, especially Latinas. We had a small wedding just for us. F all that spending for others. Because we looked at the spending of the wedding. It's really, you're just doing it for a bunch of people. Some are close family, but a lot of them just friends who show up and drink and eat, right? And even though you're friends, but the weddings, you're talking low six figures or high 80, 90, 100,000, right? So I was like, we could just throw a small party, save our money, and that's a down payment on the house, and that's what we did. Pub Dad, apart from Paddy, which English fighters have a chance at a UFC belt? Oof, UFC belt? I'd have to look at it. There's a few who can do it. It's just, man, it's a tough. Belt's tough. Shot at a straight title shot, it's tough. You guys don't have a lot. Rafi says, I got Usman too. I think he can pull it off. Dricus didn't make the adjustments since the Khamzat fight. He's probably cooked. How do you know he didn't make the adjustments? Crystal says, can you turn that belt a little? It has a bad glare. Sure, pal. Here? Is that better? I'm surprised it's even in the shot. Let's see where we at here. Where we at? Oh, you went up. Let's see. Okay, that's good, Chin. Hagen says, I assume Marab Yan will fight end of the year. Does Sugar accept Umar or Batista fight or wait for the title shot? Wait for the title shot. They're hard to come by, and those are two tough challengers. Why risk it?
And just real quick, Holland withdrew because he had an undisclosed injury, and then people are upset about Terrence Crawford because he didn't fight in 2026. So they're saying fighter of the year.
Oh, that makes he didn't fight in 2026. That was the end of 2025.
Yeah.
Whoa,
I don't know how that works though.
Then that is some shenanigans. That is some bullshit. But it's ESPN. You know, they're pretty woke over there. They're not going to give UFC fighter winning at the White House fighter of the year. Figure it out. That's why their entire business is in shambles. Mike Street, do you wrap your hands when you're hitting the heavy bag? I did a long time ago, but now my hands are used to it without it. It's just good to do, especially if you're a little older. But even if you're a fighter, you want to take care of your hands at all costs. But also, I do the fight camp workouts and the tracker. So all my tracking is in the wrap. So it won't track if you don't have the wraps on. So I always wear wraps. Dobby Wobbin says, will you be watching RAF this weekend? Who you picking, Sarukian or Covington? Sarukian. And I will be watching. Thomas had to switch debit due to fraud. Oh, dude, there's a lot of that going on. No sweat, brother. The Beats, what up, B? I've been rewatching Tough 10. Was Marcus Jones just crying all the time? Must have been dope to spend time with Kimbo, too. Kimbo was awesome. Marcus Jones, emotional dude. You know, he's just a passionate. He's more passionate than anything. He's a big dude. ZTO coaching, thoughts on Armin versus Colby this weekend? You know, Colby was a monster. All-American at Oregon State. You know, a little older. Armin's really in his prime. He's also a weight class under, so he's going to be a little quicker. His technique's going to be better. I think it's a tough night in the office for Colby. Colby doesn't get washed, though. I think Colby does land some points, but he doesn't get washed. Comic Cody, I'm on that neuro gum. I haven't done any gum. I can't do gum because of my teeth, but I'm not a big gum guy with the nootropics. Lee Garnett, old mechanic here. When we get more car content, I love it. Soon, brother, soon. In LA, that's what I'm doing in LA. Only on Thursday am I shooting my new Hummer LS out there. And then I'm going to do a full breakdown for the Diesel R boys on my Ram 2500. I'll give a breakdown if you bought a base Ram and what it would cost and what it would take to get it to where I'm at now. I'll probably shoot that next week. White Slurp, sorry if you big slurp. Sorry if you haven't talked about it. Sorry if you talked about it yesterday. I wasn't able to catch the show. What do you think is next for Usman if he wins? Are we going Sizzler talking title shots? Yeah. If he wins, especially with his pedigree and his resume, and with a win already over Strickland, that would make sense. BB Greg's merch coming soon. Yes, the site should be live. They're just waiting on me to send some info. It should be live, I'd say, later today. I'll post it. Or I could just wait to make it live Monday for you guys, especially for the live chat here. Devin 33. I feel like you have quite a few car guys on here listening. Wrench, I love it. Hagen says, I know Ben Askren is a beast, but taking wrestling match scares me for his health. He's trying to prove something to himself or make money while he can. The money's probably good and definitely doesn't hurt. I think it's more to prove something to himself, you know. Comic Cody, I got married on the beach in Florida, saved thousands, put a down payment on the house. Yeah, man. Yeah. Devin 33 says, I proposed at Dave & Buster's. Oh, wow. 13 years strong. Not going to lie. Starting to feel bad about that one. Yeah. Marshall, Tiger and Bossy going to have a shoe game like their dad used to. I mean, I still have all my kicks. The issue is, like, I just got these, if you guys can see them. I'm on my feet so much coaching and working out and walking and doing. It's rare I sit down too much unless I'm talking to you cats. So I now at my age, I no longer wear 13. I wear 14. I need the width and the size. Like 13s hurt my feet, which is a shame because I have all those sick kicks. But I'll save those for the kiddos. So they'll have dope shoes whether they like them or not. Once they wear 13, and Bosty has a huge foot. Tiger has a big foot because he's a big dude. But Bosty, being his size, just has a massive foot. So they like kicks, but not to the level when I was a kid. The kick game's also different. There's no like big Jordan releasing, once every 3-4 months. Jordan 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, 6s, 7s, 8s, 9s, especially the 11s when I was a kid. Black Ross, isn't it? Is that kid British?
Who?
He has the talent to do it. Black Ross there. Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh. Is he British? I thought he was. Is he not Irish? He could do it. He has the skill set to do it for sure. And this loss doesn't set him off too much.
Whoa.
Well, born and raised in London. There you go. He's probably your best bet.
But he's Irish and Chinese. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he doesn't look a hundo. That's why he doesn't look a hundo, does he? That's a good take, Black Ross. Alex says, Usman definitely got 1 or 2 more great performances. I think he gets it done round 3. And where's the poll you put up, Chin? Where are we at on that?
Still going. You tell me when. Right now it's at 54% think Du Plessis.
I get it. Yeah. Again, when they announced, I was like, Kamaru's not a 3-1 dog. I don't think he wins, but he's not a 3-1 dog. Jason says, you got a raccoon like Erling Haaland. I had it first. I'm pretty sure he got it the same place I did. I had it first, but he's very famous and very good at soccer. Slurp says, what are the rumors on Roundtree's injury? I haven't heard what happened, only they pulled out due to injury.
It says still undisclosed.
Undisclosed. I'm sure I can find out for you guys. Jacob says, my wife and I always talked about how we wish we would have invested the more money we spent on the wedding. Yeah, my brother-in-law, proposed his girl, and they're young. They have a thriving business. I'm like, buddy. And his wife's Latina. I'm like, wants to invite 500 people. And I'm like, buddy, you're going to spend so much money on that. You guys are young. Invest that into a house. Bring the people you love around. Throw a party and put that money into a house. Comic Cody says, I buy all the kiddos 3 teens and the wife all a pair of shoes. Then I get another pair or drop some coin on personal comic book. Nice. Slow Fit, what's the new drink you're sipping there? Oh, this not new. This is First Form. Screaming, Screaming Freedom. It's my favorite flavor. The can's freaking lit too. Pretty sure Dana has something to do with this.
At the top here.
Thomas says, hey, B, whatever happened to Gregor Gillespie? Do you know why Anthony Smith and Bisping broke up? I don't know why Anthony Smith and Bisping broke up. I love both those guys. They were great together. I think Anthony Smith just wanted to go on his own, maybe? I don't know. And they're always zooming in, right? So Zoom sucks, man. Especially when you're doing it for like a regular show. Zoom's okay to do, once a month or once every 3 months. But as a full-time gig, it sucks. Trust me, I've been there on Golden Hour. It's tough, man. I don't know why they broke up. I have no clue. Gillespie, I don't know. Remember, he was a savage. Mm-hmm. Savage. That's a great callback. It's not like it's like years ago. You're talking about like a year and a half ago we saw him, right?
May 2021 was his last fight.
2021?
Yeah.
I wonder what happened.
He said inactivity, difficult getting matchups he wanted.
That sounds weird. You're in the UFC. Yeah. The Shea Show. Did you see the Norwegian soccer player? Yeah. Holland, take home the raccoon just like yours. Yeah. Yeah. Good taste, my man. These raccoons are awesome. Even though he got replaced by this UFC Freedom Belt. Probably the only thing that could replace him. Mike Street, I think most of the heat that Tom gets is probably from Americans and he's just unlikable. I don't know why, but he is. Even though he's a freak, something about him is unlikable. Man, he's never like brags, I find him pretty humble. I don't get it. Mikey Mukai, do you or Chin play chess? No, sir. No, sir. No, sir.
When I was in my 20s, I did a lot.
Hard no. In your 20s? Yeah. Definitely not the time I'm playing chess in my 20s. Chess is awesome, though, but not for me. Comic Cody, currently watching Tough 10. I watched it as it aired. Shocking how much I forgot. Right? It's a fun one. Jelly Scam says, finally here for live while I'm quote-unquote working at my South Florida warehouse. Y'all don't know hot weather. Brother, we're in Texas, man. It gets hot here. But, yeah, Florida with humidity, especially if you're close to the beach. Like, Houston, the hottest place I've ever been is Houston. Everyone talks about Austin hot. Houston,
Really?
in the summer, with the humidity, is the hottest I've ever been. Now, there's desert hot, right? Vegas, Phoenix. Houston in the summer is a different animal. Slurp says, who's the Funko Pop chilling next to the Trash Panda? That's mine. That is mine, sir. Tomcat, why is Ben Askren competing this weekend? Because he's awesome. I understand feeling or wanting to get out there one more time, but you got to think about your family first. Can't imagine his family, what they're thinking. Yeah, I agree. I'm worried for him. I just hope it goes smooth. It's a no-win situation for Bilal. You imagine if Bilal just beats the brakes off of him? That would not be good. Hey, and who do you have the Van Pantoja rematch? Let's see how Pantoja looks after that injury. He's also getting older. Pantoja's great at everything, man. He's a tough night in the office. I'd probably sway. Listen, it's still early. I'm sure I can, once I look more into it, I can be persuaded. I'd say right now Pantoja, but Van's going to be your champ for a long time. Even if we were to lose to Pantoja this next time, he's going to be your champ again. Slovak. Colby looks sloppy versus Danis and Weidman. Father Time gets everyone. There's no world where Merab beats Henry in Henry's prime, but Father Time just being in shape plays a big factor. Huge factor. Yeah, you're right. Comic Cody, Neurogum is free? Really? I have some. I don't trust if it's free. I have some. Does not bother my teeth at all. Yeah, but do you have my teeth problems? DV 3 pounds. I think y'all forget Khamzat is one of UFC only stars. That on top of being super close, the rematch 100% makes sense. The truth is y'all don't want to see Strickland lose. Oh, no, it's not that. My issue with Khamzat, Islam, all those boys, they're just not active enough. So if Khamzat becomes champ, it just, okay, see you in 2027, and it just sucks. He also lost Bubba. You know? That's the only thing. He lost. Vlad says, when are you going to buy a first-gen Shelby Durango? I used to love those when I was a kid. Very hard car to find. It's amazing. Best sounding supercharger. Those are badass. See, you can get those Hellcat Durangos now. Like, and I love the red interior. You can get those now for pretty good price, man. And those things cook. I also love the Trackhawks. I love finding salvage titled Trackhawks on Facebook Marketplace and then thinking about buying it, and then I just don't. Black Ross, MVP isn't getting the top shot anytime soon, but he could be champ at 85. No, sir. Too many holes in his game. Crow, listen while painting and spraying bed liners. Nothing better than a sprayed bed liner, bud. Slowfit, MVP getting a no-name for his next fight. How do you piss off the brass? Because his boring fights, his style. Jolly Scam, I just wear flat Vans all day as a 14 myself. Yeah, if they're too flat, my feet still hurt, brother, because I'm on my feet so much, but I don't mind a Van. Pub Dad, off-topic question here. You ever watch 60 Days In? Hell yeah. I found I'm currently binge watching it. Great show. Yeah, especially the first, 3 or 4 seasons, but then the inmates get privy to it being a show, and it kind of goes downhill. Slowfit, who are your kids' favorite football players right now? Because Tiger's playing DN and tight end, I've showed him a lot of footage like the Watt brothers, the Bosa brothers, tight end, Gronkowski, yeah. And then Bosty likes McCaffrey, loves McCaffrey. He likes the fast guys. Tyreek Hill, he likes the really fast guys because he's fast. James Love, welcome to the club. Comic Cody, married in 2008. After I got my money right, I took my wife to Hawaii in 2016. Yeah, so you made it right. CTO coaching, what's your thoughts on training in a boxing gym once or twice a week in combo with MMA gym? That's what most of us did back in the day. I don't know what the kids are doing now. That's what we did. Chris Lamb, what happens if Cyril Gane beats Tom? Is Hokit in line or Alex rematch? If Gane beats Tom, yeah, Hokit would be next in line. Not Alex rematch because that thing wasn't close. Mike Street, have a feeling DDP steamrolls Usman in the first round. Coming off that loss will be fire. I kind of agree with you, brother. Lee says, got married on top of Flagstaff Mountain in Boulder. I've been to Flagstaff. A good restaurant up there, too. Made $60K in equity on the house we bought. Good for you, brother. Patrick, what restaurant is a must next week in LA? Somewhere your family loves and misses? 26 Beach off Abbott Kinney, my family loves. Mercedes, it's right on Venice Beach there off Washington. All these off Washington Boulevard there in Venice / Marina Del Rey. 26 Beach is my family's favorite. My Uncle Pax used to take me there when I was a kid. Mercedes for breakfast, and you know, it's a great spot. The Firehouse for breakfast as well. It's cool. It's like a vintage Venice Gold's Gym vibe. And then Scopa is also off Washington. It doesn't have any signage on, but just, you know, you just search Scopa Italian Roots and it'll pop up. All those are off Washington, by the way. And then on the next street over, Abbott Kinney, you have Justa, but there's a crazy wait always at Justa. I don't know these days with all the homeless and all the crazies out there, but if there's a wait, literally part of Justa's GTA, Justa Takeaway, they have the best pizza in, I think, all of North America. Conor Cody, when I hear the name Kavanaugh, I think of Grown Up 2 and Stone Cold's back zits. Oh, interesting. DV 3 pounds says Usman's going to turn into prime Khabib. Brunson took DDP down. Come on, people. That was a while ago, brother. Vlad says, do people actually think no knees Usman has a chance? Man, the knee thing I think is so overdone when it comes to Usman. He's had that for so long, and he's dealt with it at a high level. James, sup B, all the way from Wales, UK. Even though the UFC had the lawsuit for the underpaid fighters years ago, how come the same thing still seems to be happening? Because they settled. You know, it didn't go through. The lawyers and the fighters that were run that lawsuit settled, so they didn't hold their feet to the fire. So they just settled. There's no changes to be had by the UFC. And that's also why, right, like they're doing Conor Benn and Ryan Garcia the same night as UFC Noches. And then people are like, oh, maybe they'll do Conor versus insert whatever box you want, Floyd, whatever, in Zuffa. They won't. And they won't do like Suga and Zuffa because the pace so dramatically different. With that Ali act, it could get weird. So that's why the UFC is purposely keeping, or not UFC, TKO is keeping them completely separate because that Ali act would come into place. It'd be a big issue for them. Jay Snag, Scouse in the house. Scouser in the house. Liverpool, England. Finally here, Big B. Since your career started in 2008, was there any desire to fight in Pride, Heroes, or Dream? Big fan, brother. Keep crushing, guys. Thanks, brother. No, I was so UFC heavy, right? Like I had 3 fights and I was the Ultimate Fighter, so there was never any choice. It was all UFC. All UFC. I would have loved to compete in Pride though. Freaking loved it. I was such a Pride fan. Mike Street, love your chat about Conor and Jesus. His biggest test is right now. If he really found the Lord, he'll be all right. Yep, we'll see if he's faking the funk or if he's serious. Slowfit, Conor keeps saying he needs surgery, but still no confirmed injury. We think an ACL? I think ACL. Listen, I've torn my meniscus and I was still able to perform. You sure as hell don't limp like that. Or, I'm sorry, fall down in the octagon like that off a meniscus, you know? I wish you would take a picture of his knee and see the swelling. I need to see some swelling. Thanks, Curtis. Appreciate you, brother. Jake D555. I feel like Luke Riley could be a champ one day. Yeah, Luke Riley's a good pick. He's a stud. It's so tough. You're talking about less than 1% of the fighters in the UFC get a title shot. So it's a stretch. It's tough, man, to get there. Certain things have to happen. That fool Chris says, put out the info ASAP. It takes so long to get merch. Nah, these will be cooking, brother. We got you. Devin33B, if you like RAF, check out PGF. It's another grappling no-gi comp with teams. Vegas coached by Rick Lundell, Kenny Johnson. Oh, wow. They held a secret spot in Vegas. Interesting. Years ago. Thomas says, White Tom here. What up, B? Ross season. What up, B? What up, B? Ross season 16 tough was one of my favorites besides yours. Whatever happened to Mike Ritchie? Kid had a ton of talent. I thought the elbow to Magny was rough. Glipsy's one loss. Mike Ritchie, we were managed by the same manager, so I would do some stuff with him. Mike Ritchie was an interesting one. I'm pretty sure he came from money. And he's married now with kids, and he's just doing the damn thing. He was a really smart dude. Like outside the octagon, like marketing, business-wise. So I think he went into that field, and he's crushing it. Hagen, besides Hokit and Gabe, are there any American fighters who have what it takes to be champ soon? What's the kid? I always forget his name. Rose at Oklahoma State. He was supposed to be on the Jacoby Smith. Oh. Savage. Marshall, hey, Brandon, Chris Johnson was inducted to the Hall of Fame. Can be happy for that. Yeah, good for him. The beats. Who wins a fight? Gordon Ryan or Hodger Gracie? Fight meaning like MMA fight with gloves on, or you mean a gi contest or no gi contest? Be more specific, brother. Black Ross, Chael and Bisping are company guys. I want to be respectful towards them, but they act as if TKO can do no wrong. I mean, you know, if you're working for the Dallas Cowboys, you're not going to criticize, the Dallas Cowboys. It comes to the territory. It's also a steady paycheck, and if you want criticism, there's a million places you can go. So for those, I don't have an issue with it. But as far as like actual takes on what's going on, I'm probably not going to go to the guy that works for them, if that makes sense. Now, if they're breaking down the fight, go to them. Those two are way better than me, breaking down X's and O's. But if it's like holding the UFC's feet to the fire, fighter pay, certain Aspinall shit, real shit, and I don't blame them. That's the business that they're in. Going Grounds podcast. Off topic. What's up with Little Brows? Do you still talk to him? Yeah. He reaches out. Me and him text probably once a month. You still talk to him, Chin?
Yeah, through text.
Yeah, he's good. Jose Solano. Hey, B, in San Diego, we got a famous person being buried on Monday, and people had to sign NDAs. I'm trying to figure out who it could be. And they're in San Diego? Well, I don't know, brother. Camito's Way. Sub Brownies. Nate here live in Gulf Shores. Let's go. Moved from Seattle 4 years ago. Good for you for getting out of that shithole. Yeah, Common Cody. Walking outside in Louisiana, it's like getting hit with a wet towel in the face. Yeah. Anywhere near that beach, buddy. Graphic Gorilla, what up, dog? Where am I at, Chin? There we go. Vegas was awesome until Conor went out. Paddy was awesome. Slap, so cool live. That's what I heard. Was a blast. You see Khamzat going to 205. What was Costa complaining about on Ariel? Him versus Luke. One of my all-time top 5. Do I see Khamzat going to 205, or he announced he's going to 205? Yeah, 205 would make sense for him. He has work to do at middleweight, but it makes sense for him. Especially maybe the cuts affecting his cardio, you know? Jorge, I just don't see it. He seems over at this point. Who's that? Slowfit, you think Ben has been practicing his live wrestling? He knows what he's doing. Plus, it's Belal. It's not like some D1 All-American. Agree. Yeah. If Ben signed up, he's not going to embarrass himself. Captain 420, don't forget to like the stream, boys. Thanks, bro. Slurp, that's dopey. I got my girl a custom Funko Pops. Elvis, I'm pretty sure it's her favorite thing I've got her. Yeah, that's dope. Mikey Mukai, Phoenix, 76% humidity today. Interesting. Oh, J. Luke, when he says free, he means sugar-free. Makes sense. Sometimes even the sugar-free ones can mess with my teeth. Damn, am I that behind on the chat? They're at the gum. Jehovah Thickness. Hey, B, who wins, Prime Carwin or Prime Francis? Carwin beats the fuck out of him. Wow. Excuse me. You ever seen that NFL player? He goes, oh, bless you. He goes, thank you, to himself. It's so funny. I think that he's a Dallas Cowboy now. Cody, what up, B? I got Usman at KO or TKO. Interesting. Camito's Way. Brendan, what up? Saw you in Everett, Washington a few years ago. Met Dustin in Biloxi recently. Moved to Alabama. He signed my gloves. Would we oppose to sign my gloves too? I want to get my favorite fighter. You got it, brother. Let's figure it out. Thomas goes, I would rather pay to watch your boys play sports than to watch Islam Khamzat fight. Unless it was Gilbert Burns kicking that ass. He did better than Kamaru by far. Agree, brother. Agree. Where's it? Trap Archer? Who's next for Sarah, Curtis Blades? God, dude, they're throwing him to the wolves. I could see, depending what the UFC wants to do, I don't agree with it, but I could see them get him Stevenson, Gable. DB 3 pounds says, here's an interesting fact. Volkanovski and Khamzat have the same amount of fights in the last 3 years. The fighters don't pick when they fight. Oh, they do, Bubba. They do. No, they do. I get it. You're a fan of those guys. They do. They, especially at their level, they decide when they can fight. And here's what you're missing. The only reason Volkanovski and Khamzat have the same fights in the last 3 years is Khamzat had 3, I think, in 2 months. And then after those days, he went away. So that's not a good argument, pal. Jake D555. What do you think about Conor saying it should be a no contest? Everyone should be refunded their bets. Good luck with that. But I can see how he wants a no contest because it wasn't due to his opponent's actions why he got hurt. He didn't get stopped. He got stopped by Father Time. So let's see. Jelly Scam, I still feel like Stipe would dog walk this current heavyweight division. In his prime, yeah. Brickhouse, is it bad after watching the World Cup I want to send my son to Spain for 2-3 years and forget? Messi out here making $300 million a year. Messi's such a outlier. Yeah, if you sent your kid for 2-3 years, send him for 18 to 20 years if you want him to get good at soccer out there. 2 to 3, I don't know if it's going to do it. Mile High Zay, Brennan, where did the nickname Hybrid come from? Who gave it to you? What made you change it? The Hybrid came from when I went on The Ultimate Fighter, because Rashad and Rampage, when they're making the picks, we all had to work out, like do a combine in front of them. And one, I can't remember if it was Rashad or Rampage, was like, dude, he's like a hybrid. He moves like a middleweight, but hits like a heavyweight, and that's where it came from. And then Big Brown got changed when I met Brian Callen. Devo the Dude, B, if you didn't go to Colorado, what college would you have gone to and played ball at? I was looking at Cal, because my Uncle Pax played there. I was looking at Cal, and I was looking at Texas A&M. Ryan Hubbs, I think UFC BJJ could be cool, but their star Mikey is great, but so boring to watch. He just pulls guard and butt scoots around. Yeah. They need to take a page out of RAF and mix in some big name stars to get in there. Jehovah Thickness, hey B, I think if we were to combine every 2 weight classes for the BMF, it would open up so many fun matchups. Thoughts? Love it. It would have to be those though, right? You can only go like 45, 55, 55, 70, 70, 85, 85, 205, 205 heavyweight. Otherwise, the commission's not going to allow it. Thomas says, fun fact, when I was at Jesuit High School in Tampa, we had Brad Raddick. We had Jason Michaels, both MLB long-term. We had Jay Feely, long-time kicker. Oh, Jay Feely was out there forever. As well as Bert Kreischer. Good Lord, dude. Would you go to the coolest school ever? Pub Dad, what's next for BSD after this loss? He's clearly a great fighter. Great's a loose term. Do you see a route to the belt for him? I don't. Not with that fight IQ. A Fazeev or something it's not good, man.
Brent, we got to throw in a 30-second pre-recorded. Can we do it now or?
You want to throw in an ad?
Yeah.
Let's do it in 2 minutes.
All right.
J. Luke, have we ever witnessed or seen Usman's knees affect him in a fight? I think he's wrestling DDP to decision. I could see him wrestling to decision. He's just so undersized against DDP. I think DDP's just sheer size and technique's going to be an issue for him. And then his awkwardness can be an issue. No, we've never seen Usman's knees be an issue inside the octagon. You've heard about it, right? He told you his knees are bad, but it's never been an issue. Dom Dalen, what up, B? Bailed out of work to hit this live. What do you think? 215 Conor would think of the Conor today. He'd be heartbroken. He'd be heartbroken. Jesus Christ, dude. Thomas says, 2 years ago, I had my right hip replaced. Then in November, I was on a ladder trimming my palms. Didn't realize the tree was full of yellow jackets. He was stung 74 times and tore my knee, ACL, MCL, and patella. Jesus Christ, dude. Slowfoot, how was Oldberg able to get out ACL tear but Conor couldn't? Is it pain tolerance thing or just different levels of severity? I think Oldberg wasn't trying to explode on it, right? He was like on his back foot and limping. And then Yuri, man, I would say what Yuri did was more of a bonehead move than what BSD did, especially that magnitude of a fight in a title fight, because he had him. He had him, and you can't explode off your ACL. You just can't. And Oldberg was literally just kind of in defensive mode, and then Yuri just came in and he was able to literally check hook him, you know? So a little different, Marshall, thanks, brother. Love you too. Normac, how do you think GSP Khabib would have went? I got excited back when I thought it was going to happen. We'll never know, unfortunately. No, you're never going to know. They could do an RAF, like a wrestling. GSP would have beat him. DV 3 pounds. Schaub, why are people counting out Cannonier this weekend? Because he's lost 4 out of his last 5. His strength schedule is impressive. Although he's getting old, he's very tough out. Yeah, but he has a tough task in front of him. Scoops, Brennan, what's your net worth? Google it. And those are usually off. Vasquez 7852. What up, man? What's your number one dream matchup? Paddy Topuria. Patrick Martinez, have you ever had to deal with your baby crying in public, getting side looks from rude people? Oh, yeah. I don't give a fuck. Anyone who doesn't understand that is, I don't want him in my foxhole. If there's an issue, say something. No one ever does, though. No one's that rude. SB Youngbloods, DDP gets the finish third round sub. I could see that. DV 3 pounds. Have you ever tried Whataburger? Every friend of mine says it's like Carl's Jr. Nah, I'm a big fast food guy. My kiddos love burgers, though. I don't know about that, Black Ross, but thank you, brother. Dom, if you're an NFL GM and had to pick between a prime Chris Johnson, prime Adrian Peterson, who are you taking? Adrian Peterson. Best athlete I've ever seen in person. Chris Johnson was fast as fuck, right? But his career was shorter because he's so fast, so they get injured more. Adrian Peterson was a workhorse. And he can run between the tackles, outside. He did everything well. Caught well. Michael Mukai, someone asked about the best walkouts. Was you talking about Kempo? Chemo. He says Keno, but it's chemo. Walked out with a huge crucifix on his back, old school, and he was so tired by the time he made the octagon. It was such a dumb move. Jake, about to be elbow deep in concrete. Your streams make my day way better. Thank you, man. Thank you, brother. Doing the Lord's work. Vibes and stuff. Thank you for your donation, brother. Do you see MVP doing 4 events a year for Netflix? No, sir. Maybe 1 a year. The Graph Gorilla, I have no idea what the clapping seal is. I don't either. You want to hit that commercial, Chin?
Yeah.
Let me know when it's done.
Sounds good.
Hello, and welcome to Pluto Phone. If you know the name of the movie you'd like to see, just stream it for free on Pluto TV, where all your blockbuster favorites are landing all summer long. Catch Anchorman, The Legend of Ron Burgundy.
Fantastic.
The Matrix Trilogy.
Welcome to the real world.
Mean Girls.
Shut up.
Titanic.
I'm the king of the world.
And so much more. For showtimes, press nothing. They're free 24/7.
That is so fetch.
On Pluto TV. Stream now. Pay never.
All right, we're back.
We're live. All right, what up, kids? Where we at? Yeah, clap and seal. I don't know any of that stuff yet. ZTO coaching. How much nicotine and caffeine do you take per day? And did you take either before your fight? Nope. Nicotine I started way later. I've probably been on it now, I don't know, 6-7 years. And then caffeine, yeah, I would drink coffee before fights. I don't take that much. So I'll have 1 cup of coffee in the morning. Literally 1 cup of coffee. I wake up around 5. I have 1 cup of coffee. I guess when you go through it, I have 1 cup of coffee. And then when I get to the gym, either at 6 or 7, I have my pre-workout, which has caffeine. My first form pre-workout has some caffeine in it. And then if I'm doing the live chat, Big Round Breakdown, I'll have an energy drink. Then after this, so what is it? I'll get out of here around 12:30, 12:45. No more caffeine for the rest of the day, unless, like, I have to coach today outside. If I'm a little just tired, I'll have some iced coffee before I coach kids. And as I'm talking about it, it sounds like I drink a ton of caffeine. So, yeah. Nicotine's, I mean, I go through 2 cans a day, man. It's a problem. Chris Lamb says, Conor does not deserve a no contest. It's not about deserve or not deserve, but let's carry on. Max did have an influence on him, his knee injury. No, he didn't. Conor miscalculated Max's position and overextended his kick. Interesting take, brother. Bob Dad, who that is champ now will still be champ in the year, and who isn't champ will be, if you had to educate guess. Still be champ by the end of the year, Justin Gaethje, because he won't fight the rest of the year. But Tom Aspinall keeps his title. Joshua Van, I don't think will be champ. Strickland, I bet's champ. Cole Zolberg, Price stays champ. Islam's a tough one. I do think Ian Gary can beat him. But if I was betting on it, Islam's probably still champ. Keep going down, Chin. Mackenzie Dern, hopefully still champ. Kayla Harrison, still champ. Shevchenko, probably not. Timothy Copster, thank you for your donation. Coke Zero over Diet Coke. Interesting. I had a cherry Coke Zero today. It just doesn't hit the same. Thomas, have you ever heard anything new on Nick Diaz? I know you and Nate have your issues. Did you ever have any encounters with Nick when he fought? Rob seemed humbled, and then he got addicted. Sad. Yeah, I know it's sad. And I don't have any issues with Nate. You know, we're cool. I have no issues with him. I haven't heard anything new on Nick. You just hope for the best. You hope for the best, brother. SB Youngbloods, any news on Kayla Harrison and Amanda Nunes? No, right? We haven't heard shit. They're supposed to fight at the White House. Obviously, Kayla had the neck surgery, but it's like, let's get going here. The UFC could do a better job updating this a little bit, right? Like, just not based off these questions. Hey, what's up with this guy? Hey, what's up with this gal? Hey, what's up with this? Hey, where are we on this? I'm with you guys, man. It's like, could we get a little update on some shit? Dom Dalen, do you see MMA Guru put Mighty Mouse at number 6 all time? I have it as number 1 or 2, but I'd love to hear your take. Didn't they used to do a show together? That's weird. Number 6 all time is crazy. That's crazy. That's just not true in any facet. But it'll get your views. Joey Skim, I love the Saline S331. Would be a dream truck to own. Yeah, did you see Roush just dropped the truck with Ram? They need to spice that bad boy up. You just can't give me some graphics and a dope interior and wheels. I need that engine to be spicy. And what's up with the trans? I don't know why they never beef up the trans. I have a Randy's Stage 3 transmission in my 2500. Buddy, I've had a ton of transmissions. That one cooks. Chris Lamb says, if Max would have been in the correct position for Conor's kick to land, his knee would still be in one piece. That's why he was practicing the same kick in the back with no issues. All right. Alex says, shoot, if you're so confident on DDP, put your raccoon where your mouth is. I'm not betting this raccoon, man, especially on a fight. The Beats, 805. B, I'm a cop in Ventura County. Last week I landed a nasty leg kick on a guy. Sick. Fooled him right up. Had him in cuffs. Second later, you would have loved it. Hell yeah, I wish I could see that freaking cam, that body cam. Yeah, dude, a leg kick in a street fight is so underrated because that lets them know, oh, shit, this guy knows what he's doing. Like a hard leg kick, like a proper step out, heel, all that. Come on, baby. I love it. Isaiah, you're right. You're 100% right. Seattle's a shithole, and I'd love to move, but the help we get with the kids makes it tough. Trying to convince the wife to move to Texas, Arizona. I love the content. Thanks, brother. Yeah, it's tough. When you have like a village, like helping out with the kids, unless they're going to move, like that's why I was able to move here because my mother and father-in-law came with us. Patrick Martinez, what was the order before your last fight? I'm assuming that's order or odor? Odor before your last fight. I met you after the weigh-ins and saw you and the team into the strip steak inside Mandalay Bay. Damn, old school. Oh, what was the order at I would assume order at strip steak? Always a fillet or usually always, I'm more of a sirloin guy. I know some people do it because it's easier on the wallet, but I like sirloin. Like at home, I make sirloins for the kids and me. I'm a big sirloin fan. It's a little tougher. Slow fit. Conor asking for bets to be returned his damage control for all the people thinking through the fight. Fair point. Jay Snag. Big B, do you think the UFC will start pushing the Dagestani boys out the UFC due to their style of fighting? They're not signing new ones, are they? There's a reason for that. The Beats 805. Send them 2-3 years Compton, forget. Yeah, if you never want to see him again. Although I heard Compton's getting better. Right over there in South Central, because that's where the Rams kind of play over in that area. So it's really becoming booming over there. Dev 3 pounds. You got to admit, though, after the Netflix card, UFC has been cooking. 328, Freedom 250, 329. Even the fight nights are watchable. Yeah, they're cooking, brother. It's hard to hate on them, right? They're freaking cooking. And you know what? Have you heard me hate on them in a hot second? No. I only give them flack when it's deserved. When they first started out with Paramount, I was so upset. I was saying how it's crumbling, it's so corporate now, and now they're cooking. And I love it. Sean J. Murph, question: does Conor's knee blowout raise up ladies' night? Raise up ladies' night Holberg stock? Dude blew his ACL and still nuked it. Still nuked Yeri. Little different. For the casuals, they don't know what happened, but yeah, for us, I guess. Normac, what's the big fight end of the year? Aspinall gone or Paddy Topuria? Same card. Number 1 rated high school in the country. Really? Still, or when you were there, Tom? Dela Cruz, if you fight one more time, would you rather be called Brendan the Hybrid Schaub or Brendan Big Brown Schaub? Big Brown. I've been called the Hybrid since I came out of the Ultimate Fighter. The Beats 805. I earned a D1 football scholarship out of high school. He must have been a really good dude. But I still tell people JUCO is the better route first. It's the last stop before football becomes a business and you're just a number. Thoughts? There's some truth there. Definitely a lot of truth. It depends what kind of player you are. So if like University of Tennessee's rolling out the red carpet and you're a top 50 recruit, go there. Because with injuries, you never know what's going to happen. Your foot's in the door. But especially with baseball, JUCO's definitely the move. Definitely the move. Get some experience and then jump into the big waters. But yeah, JUCO has this weird frowned upon kind of vibe to it, which is weird. I gave a talk to my team on Wednesday night about commitment because the first practice we're missing like 6 or 7 players because the families had dinners or we're on vacation. And I'm trying to set a standard. Like if you sign up for this team, we're going to win a ton of games. And if you're missing practices, don't come crying to me when you're like, well, why isn't Timmy playing? It's like, where were you in the summer when we were working? All these other kids are working, and you're sipping freaking fruit punch in Mexico. That's why he's not playing. Jehovah Thickness. B, can you give me your top 5 favorite fighter nicknames? Thug Nasty's great. Thug Nasty was great. GSP's when he burst on the scene, people forget his name was Rush because they called him Rush because he beat guys so fast, and that went out the window, right? He started being a decision fighter as he got higher up in competition. Vanilla Gorilla's always fun. Mighty Mouse is fantastic, especially with his size. There's so many good ones I'm not even thinking about. And it's not even the mainstream guys. The Dominator's pretty lit. Omar, late to the show today, but are you going to pay our friend Matan a visit while you're out in LA? Dude, I have no time. I was supposed to link up with the Jackson boys. I was supposed to link up with Motor Trend, with Banks Diesel, I'm swamped Thursday, Friday, and then I'm trying to fit in family time too. So no, probably not, brother. Uncle Alert facts. Drew Casablanca, who you got winning the World Cup? God, I don't give a shit about Spain or Argentina. It'd be cool to see Messi win one, yeah. Perizzo style. What are the chances the UFC brings over Dakota from PFL in the near future? Women's division needs something. Yes, agree. I would assume soon, right? Especially for Dakota and PFL. What are you doing with her? Let her flourish. Let her spread her wings. Nicholas, checking in from Columbus, Ohio. The Canadian fires is no joke. The smoke's so bad out here. Still making deliveries, so hopefully I don't die breathing this shit in. Wear a mask, like all the cucks did during COVID. That's probably the time to do it. People's 26. They should do the BMF belt the same as the WWF 24/7 title. Anybody anywhere can pull up on you with it, and ref, and the fight is on. Yeah, I'm not familiar with WWE, but it sounds good. NY Sports 94. You ever come to New Jersey? I fought Crow Cop there, and I did some of my Crow Cop camp there. I love New Jersey. Black Ross. Olberg is losing to Whitaker. Ooh, hot take, Black Ross. I don't know about that. That's a great fight, though. That's a tough fight for Whitaker.
They said they wouldn't fight, though.
They wouldn't?
Yeah, that's what Whitaker said.
The fuck, they wouldn't. Black Ross. Hokit versus Jamal. I love that. And then Hokit wins that. He gets the title shot. Cody, Olberg's adrenaline was already spiked from the beginning of the fight. Conor never got going. Agree. Black Ross, GSP would mess up Khabib. Agree. Marshall, Hokit kills Jamal. It'd be a very tough fight for Jamal. Marshall also says Jamal heavy as fuck, yeah. But he's playing with it, so I enjoy it. Jeff Jive, hey B, you ever catch street beefs on YouTube? Hell yeah. Be fun to do a live stream on some of those just for fun. I remember you had one guy on TFAK back in the day. Yeah, that's right. We did, huh?
Shit, what the hell is his name?
Old school. I forget his name. But he was like the champ.
Yeah, funny guy.
Black Ross, if Canada looks good, then he gets is he in the title hunt with a loss? He gets walk-in papers ready. Even if he wins, he lost 4 out of 5. There's no way he's in a title shot. He'd have to win at least 3 more. W. Brooks, people forget, man, Usman had 3 to 4 rounds of stem cells in his last 3 years. He's talked about trips ways to well. Yep. NY Sports, you think Askren makes it to the end of the match? 1,000%. Nick, DDP and Duncan both by KO, TKO. I agree. Black Ross, LaDainian Thompson is my favorite running back. Probably the most talented, too. He was a TCU guy. Devo the Doob, Adrian Peterson was my neighbor in Texas. As a kid, he has his own day in our hometown, as he should. LT was a freak. Facts.
It's going to probably jump. I'm going to go down real quick.
Yeah, jump it.
Right.
Jump it. We'll go to 12:30, kids, so we got 27 more minutes. Mixed Martial Mike, what even do people think DDP does better than Usman? He hits harder. He's bigger. He's younger. As of late, he's been more active. He has a lot of advantages going this fight, brother.
Keep going up, or what do you want? Yeah.
Thomas, I really appreciate what you're doing for us. I've ragged on Nick a lot, but life's too short, and he's trying to tell him I'm sorry. Oh, I'll tell him. He's not here today, but thanks, brother. Appreciate you, Tom. Where are we at, Jen?
I think we're still
there we go. There we go. Nick B says, speaking of chemo, my dad was his training partner, and then chemo got popped for steroids before his fight. Eesh. That must have been an interesting training partner. White Craig, why can't they do Paddy versus Tapir and Max versus Armin? I like all of that, brother. Even Armin versus Charles gets it done. Andrew, what up, baby? Scoops, what's your thoughts on alkaline water? I just drink fucking tap water, brother. If I do drink water. Armin beats Max. Agree. And that's from Marshall. James says, why do you think the reason MVP has gone from such an exciting forward fighter in Bellator with KOs to being such a back foot fighter? Now, yes, the quality of fighters are better in the UFC, but it seems he's changed his style. Tougher competition. You can't get away with that shit. That's why when any people you listen to when they're like, Bellator fighters are the same or one championship fighters, no, they're not. No, they're not. Nate Dogg, I'm late, Mr. Schaub. You're good, brother. Ian Woods, one thing nice about putting in 50 hours in 4 days is Fridays off kicking with the Brownies. Love it. Jehovah Thickness. B, what athletes would you have liked to see get into MMA? I'm thinking Julius Peppers, Ron Artest. Yeah, but then what? They end up face down, ass up, broke. You know what I'm saying? I don't encourage those guys to come over here, especially at that level of athlete. Thomas says, I had my testosterone checked 2 years ago. I was at 27. Primary put me on 1 cc every other week. Oh, that's nothing, brother. I bet you didn't feel shit. I've been looking at this is way wrong, I think. I feel good for 4 days in trash. Yeah, because you're spiking your testosterone. Even it's such a low dosage, you're spiking it, and then every 2 weeks, then it's crashing, then you're going up, then it's crashing, then it's going up. It has to be every week, twice a week, so your levels aren't doing this. It's going like this, going like this. Peyton West, welcome to the club. Black Ross, you mess with cactus coolers? I'm not familiar with those. Chin, is that an alcoholic drink?
No, those were like in the 90s. It was a pop and drink. Soda.
King Quincy, does Chase Hooper lose another tomorrow night? No, he gets done via decision. I'm rooting for him. Dom says, MMA Guru actually said that on a show with Mighty. Wild. Good for him. If he really believes that. But MMA Guru knows too much ball. He knows he's doing it to create the dialogue, and it's working. Slow Fit, B likes beefy trans. Confirmed. Facts. I like raccoons. Facts. Omar, hey, Big Brown. If you were stepping into a fight, a top 10 heavyweight, would you want to go against? Also, Chin, if you had to do the same. Hilarious. Who would I want to go against? To get my beak wet, probably like Tai Tuivasa. You know what I'm saying? Let me get my beak wet, and then I'll ramp it up.
Whoever makes the most money.
Facts. Mikey Mukai, what does Khamzat need to do to last in the later rounds, or does he stay full throughout round one? He's the best fighter in the UFC for one round. He's insanely talented. I just think he needs to be more dangerous in there, you know? Black Ross, that was my point on women's MMA. I love women's MMA, not talking shit, but if TKO bought Invicta or made their own version, then we could see more height level popular fighters. Like a WNBA, but for the UFC, like WUFC, that'd be cool. Love to see those ratings. Mike Streets, nicotine and Big Brown breakdown is how I get through my days. Love it. Omar, bragging about hitting someone while being a cop is hilarious. Did Derek Chauvin get in the chat? No. Those guys have a tough gig, man. It's cool that he's able to apprehend that guy with a leg kick and go out unscathed, man. Can't root for the criminals, brother. That ain't the route to go. Jay Little, what held you back in your UFC career? Define hold back. Being ranked top 10 or having every fight on the main card? Define held back. Not being a champion, it would, if I had to chalk up anything, just inexperience. I got pushed way too fast. Nate Dogg, hey B, would you ever talk to Caleb Hammer? I think it'd be cool if he did a show with pro athletes and auditing and helping them with finances. Not really my thing. I could be persuaded to it. Peyton West, you should do a TV show called Keep Up with the Schaub, showing what it's like training the kiddos, making all the tournaments, going to the bare knuckle commentaries would be sick. Yeah, but then it just exposes all your kiddos, right? And they grow up weird. They grow up different. Patty, what up, man? Finally you came. Did you see the Khabib interview? Said they wanted Usman over Garry. Also that Gary is their toughest fight to do to date due to size and momentum. Bet the house on Garry. No, I wouldn't bet the house on Garry, but he's correct. The size and the footwork and the lack of finishing, like going for the finish, so he doesn't present himself in order to get taken down, if that makes sense. Like there's not a huge room to land takedowns if a guy's not committing the thing. So yeah, it's his toughest fight. I wouldn't bet the house on it though. Islam seem to figure it out, but you know. Curtis, what's your favorite moment of your entire sports career? Also, do you have any weird talent that no one knows about? Not really. Favorite moment of my career? Probably knocking out Marcus Jones on The Ultimate Fighter. They kind of give me that, because nothing would have happened if that didn't happen. If I would have lost that fight, I'd been selling supplements for the rest of my life. The Beats 805. You watched the Will Ferrell's new show, The Hawk? No, I heard it's bad. And I don't, it's like watching Conor's comeback, like minus all the darkness. But Will Ferrell's like one of the GOATs, and he looks older than that. I'm just like, oof, this looks like a play on Happy Gilmore. I'm out. A, B, what do you think of Izzy leaving City Kickboxing? A change is never bad, Mike Street, ran into Nate at Starbucks at the Venetian in Vegas a couple years ago. He was cool, shook my hand, got a picture with him. Not sure what he ordered, but I hope it was black with no sugar. The Beats, watch Widow's Bay, show's a good one. Binged that in like 4 days. Loved it. I'm watching Westies right now. It's on MGM Plus. It's mafia, Irish versus Italian mafia in the 80s. I love all that stuff. Love that era. Love the mafia in that time. That fool Chris, what's the best one line in the UFC? Who the fuck is that guy? Yes. Volume punch me. Yeah, that was in the UFC. That was on a pod, but I'll take it. SB Youngbloods, what's up with Strickland Nixick? Did you see him the other day? It's today, brother. I'm going to see him right after this. Axmer is a great one, Alex. Great one. Iceman's good. Black Ross, I hated Uncle Creepy nickname. Yeah, that is a weird one.
Prepare for a jump.
Go ahead and jump. We're on Omar right there.
Okay. There it is.
There we are. Axmer is probably the number one nickname of all time. Pat again. Sugar versus Batista or Sugar just waiting for Marabian? Waiting for the winner, Marabian. It's too tough to get a title shot. Perezos, who's winning? Peptide Schaub or TRT Belfort? Oof. Probably TRT Belfort. DV 3 pounds. Big Dagestanian fan here. Hating on Khabib. He would have mauled GSP. Remember, GSP tapped out to mini punches. Mini punches. Buddy. What would Khabib do with GSP's jab? What would he do? And not to mention his size. It would be a complete issue for him. Patty says, Usman looks small next to DDP. How much will the size versus ground scale matter? Really want Usman to get that win, but he looked like Mighty Mouse. DDP's so big, guys. He's a 205er being disguised as a middleweight right now. Trent says, what up, brother? My daughter loves rec softball, made a travel team, but now says she doesn't want to play. What are your thoughts? What would you do? I'd put her back in rec, where it's fun again. And then hopefully as she gets older, I don't know how old she is. As she gets older, she'll want to gravitate towards travel. But travel will take the fun out of things really fast. Trust me. Really fast. Put her back in rec. See if she'd be like, hey, let's just take a step back. Let's go back to rec, play with your friends, dominate, and then see down the road. We don't have to make any commitments. Let's just do rec. Carlos says, Hokit will dog walk Jamal. Probably. Jay Stagg, given that Scott Coker is back, do you think there's a possibility of any Grand Prix or tournament style system? Shame the UFC has never done it since the golden oldies. Yeah, I agree. That's Scott's Coker style. I wouldn't be surprised if he does and just makes it different. Slowfit says, people don't realize wrestling practice is harder than actual matches. So if Ben has been practicing, the match should be fine for him. Agree. Good point. Alex the Great, Big B, how much does the UFC mat have? How much give does the UFC mat have compared to boxing? They're pretty similar. But the UFC mat, it's more like a carpet. So when you like shoot, it fucks you up. But as far as the bouncy, they're pretty similar. Normac, what's the side effects of the Mac energy drink? Weak knees and just disappointment? J. Luke, best college running back ever, Darren McFadden. He was good. They had that 1-2 punch. Who's the other kid with him from Arizona? And then Peyton's also a Arkansas kid, right? Patrick Martinez, do you ever roll with Tate Fletcher back in the day of Jackson's? How'd it go? I did. Yeah, went good. Tate was so awkward to spar. He was a tough sparring session. Very unconventional. Jeff Jive, do you remember the time at Nobu in LA you were with Chuck? The story was about you and your diet, and then the young waiter poured water all over the Iceman. Ice water all over the Iceman? I sure do, man. Jehovah Thickness B, do you plan on doing content when LA 28 happens? What's that, man? You mean the LA card? The UFC LA card? Be more detailed, brother, and I'll check on it. Mikey Mukai, has anyone come up to you guys from the chat yet? No. Or if they have, they haven't mentioned the chat. Dylan Davis, I think you saying the Conor fight should have been a no contest is the craziest thing I've ever heard. I've said some wild shit, dude. That's for sure not the craziest. He decided to throw that kick and blown his leg out. Why should Max be punished for that? It's not that Max being punished. That Max gets paid the same. And the rematch is still there. It's just he's not the reason the fight stopped. That's my argument. Thomas says, Arman beats Islam this time if they were to happen. Ooh, I don't know, brother. I don't know. Jay Carrillo, bro, I'm 25 going all in on boxing, stand-up, and YouTube. Any advice? 25, you're going all in on boxing on YouTube?
No, I think he's saying boxing, stand-up comedy, and doing YouTube. I think that's what it means.
Pick a lane, brother. You got to pick one. Don't spin too many plates. Pick one and go all in. Because all those are going to require you to be all in. You won't be able to do all three. Thomas says, yeah, 27T level at 47 years old. So 400 a week or break up 200 into hundos, into 2 hundos a week. Yeah, break it up, brother. Tovar, welcome to the club. Sup, bro. New join, but diehard fan for years. How's the weather in Texas lately? Going to be World War II in August. Yeah, August gets dicey, and the kids have full gear football practice in that. Black Rust, I don't want Max to lose, and that's why I feel like that's rewarding Arman. And for what? They're in different weight classes anyway. Yeah. The Beats 805. The guy I kicked was a tweaker who slapped a kid soccer coach at the park. Yeah. You mean you kicked a bad person and people are sticking up for him? Weird. You must be in California. You're good, Jay. Scoops, Brendan, how do you think you're doing a straight wrestling match with Kane? Oosh. Depends what version of Kane we get. DB 3 pounds. Did you see that Peyton Talbot is about to be a dad? Well, that shuts down all the rumors. Good for him, brother.
What?
Thomas, what held him back was Joe being a hater. You had more in you, but glad you're healthy. Joe would have been surprised how far you would have gotten. Yeah, but it worked out at the end of this movie, you know? Probably could have squeezed out a few more, but again, that never really worked out for anyone. Jay Carrillo says, bro, check out Just Thoughts Lounge on YouTube. He breaks down true crimes cases so good. Ooh. DV says, since you like my shows, Sopranos better than Breaking Bad. Your opinion? I like Breaking Bad better. Mike Street, if John Jones moved to heavyweight in his prime, do you see anyone beating him? In his prime would have been tough because you had some big boys up there, talented too. You're talking about Kane, Stipe, Verdum, Overeem. You know, you're talking about some tough candidates, tough candidates. Jehovah Thickness, B, if you were not fighting or podcasting, what line of work would you be in realistically? What was your major in college? Business and sociology. I was a double major. What would my line of work be realistically? Something just to get me by so I could coach. I absolutely love coaching kids. I was on the field on Wednesday night, sweat my butt off and just coaching up these kiddos. Man, this is it. This is living, brother. I just love it. So whatever would help me would just pay my bills and help so I could stay open enough and have the availability to coach all the time. Right by Ting said, we got 8 more minutes, kids. 9 more minutes, sorry. Right by Ting says, I'd love to see Conor take this year and dial it in and use this time to get 155 because Dustin's running his mouth much. 55, cutting weight and coming off of surgery, too much, brother. DV 3 pounds. Do you think DDP weight cut will eventually F him over? If he loses, I think he should just go up. Yeah, if he were to lose, 205 makes a ton of sense for him. Jeff, California has completely fallen apart. Good thing you guys left. Such a mess. So frustrating. Oof. Marshall. Hey, Brendan. Mackenzie Dern or Dakota Ditchovich? Who's hotter? Ooh, I'll go with Dern. Black Ross. Hill is a former champ. Regarding him versus Hokett, it would be a good test to see where he's at mentally. Agree. Dom says, if GFL had worked out, do you think Brian would have had a chance to win a fight under your tutelage? No, sir. Ian Woodham says, if DDP has been focused on wrestling as he says, he could be a hard guy for anyone to beat. He just needs some legit defensive wrestling skills. Agree. Defensive wrestling skills is easier to come by than it is offensive wrestling and chain wrestling. Thomas, that's right. Felix Jones. Remember those boys? Black Ross, my college running back GOAT is Reggie Bush. God, talk about coming up in the wrong era. If he was in today's era, you're talking first bout Hall of Famer. The way they use running backs now. Perez style. While you were training at Jackson's, did you ever explore New Mexico? Any favorite spots? I had some really good green chili, but I was with Cowboy, so he didn't show me much. We just chilled. And I'd go to University of New Mexico for the cold tubs with Orlovsky. It was a good time, man. The cleaner, repeat question I couldn't get in. What's your prediction at what happens at 145 besides Volk versus Ivolov? Now that Diego and Yair are both going to 155. Also, how fun is 55? 55 is the funnest division we have. 170 is great too. 145 is fun. At 145, Aljo. Camito's Way. Sub B, I'm about to be a dad this November to a little girl, me and my wife's first child. I'm not really a person who has a lot of patience. You will be, brother. You will be. You're going to have no choice with that kiddo. And that's why you're having a kid. God works in mysterious ways. It's gonna force you to be patient. Because you can't be mean to that little girl, right? You're going to have patience. Jay Luke, we had Darren McFadden, Felix Jones, and Peyton Hillis at the same time. God, Peyton Hillis was a beast. Even the NFL was a monster. SB Youngbloods. Carlos Condit was a killer back in the day. Great guy, too. Newer fans missed out on his run. Yeah, he was a savage. Where are we at? Right here. Black Cross, I got a picture with Schaub in La Jolla. Send it to us, dude. Let's see it. Sean J. Murph says, listen to the showdown earlier this week. Shout out to Chin doing the work. Yes, sir. Camito's Way. My uncle coached Darren McFadden at Arkansas High School. He must have been so good in high school. Sean J. Murph. Also, vote to call it the Big Brown Bro Down. That's fun, too. Luke Falanga says, hey, brother, love you and the content. It's my birthday, going to see the Odyssey and Texas Day, Brazil before I go to Pound Town. Full stomach. Can give my fiance Katrina a shout out. There you go. What's up, Katrina? Be nice tonight. Mike Street, Axmer, #1 nickname. Facts. Paddy again. What's your chances that Justin retires and we get Ilya versus Paddy for the vacant belt? I would love that in Liverpool. Jonathan Price. Hey, Schaub, been a diehard MMA fan since 2007. I live in OKC. I'm finally getting to go to my first UFC live event with my wife and kids. Who do you got for the main event? DDP? Good fight night, though. Tovar says, bro, my W2W acronym meant going to be ways to well. Oh, gotcha. Oh, also stay in Hotel Emma. Yeah, good for you, brother. I thought it was World War II. That's hilarious. Sticky Icky Ricky says, a win over Jamal Hill shouldn't give Hogan a title shot. Should be a win over Sergey. You're probably right, but you know the UFC. That fool Chris, what's Buc-ee's like? It's like Walmart and your local gas station had a baby.
But it's good food, though. It's like cooked there, too.
Yeah.
Have you tried the brisket sandwiches?
Yeah.
They're dope.
It hurt my teeth, but yeah.
All right. That's sugar.
Jeff Castillo, your take on Conor fighting God is so hilarious. The one on T-Fat K, me and Brian were doing, so silly. Captain 420, thank you, brother. Luke, I saw you, brother. I shout out you and your fiance. Happy birthday, brother. The Cleaner. I don't know if you covered this, but the sleeper fight this weekend is Tommy McMillan and Alberto Montes. It's the first fight of the night. Patty, who you got in this little love triangle? Van, Pantoja, or Kate Pantoja? If he comes back from that injury. Black Ross, Newsom is Satan. All politicians are, brother. Just Newsom doesn't care. Some of them still care. Whoa, Jay Little. Netflix is releasing the documentary on the Idaho murders at the end of the month. Have they convicted that guy yet? How are you going to release how the hell is a documentary on Netflix coming out before the guy's even convicted and tried? Add somebody, rewatch the Lesnar vs. Kane. Was Brock that much bigger? Is Kane on the smaller side? Combo of both. Brock's so big and Kane's not that big of a dude. 6'2", 230. Alexander says, real talk, longtime fan, early Cats listener. You went from Adderalls and whiskey to nothing now. Is there anything you do after 5 p.m. before bed? Just take the edge off sometimes, big bro, JW? No. Because after I get out of here, I'll coach that team. I'll be with my kiddos from here on out. So, no, I don't do anything, brother. Thomas, you're probably correct about Brock. The Beats, trying to dress my 3-year-old daughter is miserable because she's so independent. That's a good thing, brother. Appreciate you, man. Camino's Way, I got a bunch of pics with y'all, the crew at Everett, Washington. Everett was great. That's where Boeing's at. That was an awesome city. Omar, I get it. Thomas, Reggie Bush and Peter Warwick, best I've ever seen in college. God, they were freaking good. Normac, any idea the kinds of things they would show my son on initial jiu-jitsu class? He starts Monday, 6 years old. Better be the basics. If they're teaching arm bars and kimuras, leave. He should be learning. Number one, he should be in a gi. Number two, he should be teaching shrimping, back rolls, like it's first day. If they're teaching them rear naked chokes, leave. Rafi, much love, B, but let's go Usman. Oh, I like Usman too, brother. I like Usman too. Jay Little, I'm pretty sure he got life in prison earlier this year. Did he? Did he plead insanity or some bullshit? Jonathan Schaub, have you watched The American Conspiracy? The Octopus Murders? No, what's it on, dude? Yeah, Hulu and Netflix do be pumping out documentaries. Matt, where do I get a pet named Earl? Talking about the raccoon? The Stockyard in Fort Worth. Austin, excited for the Damon Anderson debut and Israel Elliott. Yeah, those are great. J. Luke, I think you would have beat Kane. That's it. We end the live here. I don't know about that, brother. Time and Price, welcome to the club, brother. A little late, all good. Welcome to the club. Tovar, fam, what's the show schedule going to be next week? So I leave town Wednesday morning. I'm back Saturday morning. I got to work and take the fam to L.A., so we will do a live show, normal live Big Brown Breakdown on Monday. We'll do the Super Chat on Tuesday. And then we'll have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'll probably still get in the fan questions that I release on Sunday. but Thursday, Friday, there will be no live shows. I'll make it up to you guys somehow. I'll add in another watch along or something like that, but we'll figure it out. Slurp, did you say no lives next week? No, Monday, Tuesday, normal schedule. Jayler, I think he pled insanity, so he didn't get the death penalty. God, I don't know how they let him get away with it. Nick B, who wins, Prime Chuck or Yuri? Chuck destroys him. Ralphie B, did you watch the Chimp Moms doc? Is that the one where Lay's like hooking up with the chimp and they rips her face off? Oh, we got the poll completed. Does DDP get the win over Usman? 63% say yes, 37% say no. I figured it'd be more 60-40 is pretty. That makes sense. That makes sense. All right, kids, we're 3 minutes over. I love you guys. I will see you Monday. We're still going to do fan questions that will be released on Sunday from the YouTube questions. But Monday, Tuesday, normal schedule. There just won't be any shows Thursday, Friday next week. That's it because I'll be in LA. All right. Thank you guys so much. Love you guys. Thank you so much. And I will see you guys next week. Gemma Girl, thank you. Shout out to all you guys. Mike Street, everybody. Thomas, Black Ross, all you guys. Slurp, everybody. Thank you guys so much. And that's it, man. I'm Big Brown. I'm out.